So hi everyone, today we're going to talk about something very fun for our podcast, and the guests for our podcast are always going to be my viewers. Now, the topic of my podcast is how to date your coworker. Hooray! 감사합니다. Why we brought this topic is, I don't know, a lot of people are interested in dating. They are wanting to marry, but it's really hard finding someone outside of workplace, right? And especially if you maybe work in a bigger company, it's much easier to find someone for your workplace. Because I don't know, like, what do you guys use? Maybe dating apps like Bumblebee, I think it was called, or other things, but I feel like still, even if that's been like the recent trend, people my age are starting to kind of think that's still like kind of sus, kind of sketchy, or kind of like yeah, going on. So I guess we'll talk about maybe how you could date your coworker, or is it even a good idea to date your coworker? So let's get started. Okay, so we're gonna talk about fun work dating thing. First of all, who would actually want to work or date at work? Imagine dating at work, guys. You know how bad that would be? Just kidding. Okay, let me be honest with you guys. I've never dated someone at work. Shockingly, I've like, quote unquote, I've done like summer interns, a bunch of co-ops, 2 co-ops, 6-7 internship, and 2 years of working in Korea. Yeah, so that's basically my portfolio of working life. And I've never dated someone because I've just been dating someone else for 5 years, and my current guy for 5 years. Oh my god, I've been dating someone for 10 years and I never had the chance to date someone at work. Wow, that's so sad. So, I've never got a chance to, but shockingly, let me tell you some, I found lots of attractive muchachos at workplace. So at one point I was kind of sad that happened. So, anyways, in terms of dating, there's lots of interesting concept, I feel like. And I don't know if this just applies maybe in Korea or US, but what's still shocking to me these days is that there is a company husband. I want to touch upon the company husband idea first, before we go straight into should you or should you not / wife. And many of you guys are wondering, what is that? Like what is a company husband or wife? It's for those who have already a girlfriend or boyfriend or husband or wife outside of work. So it's like me, who I'm already having my significant other, but I'm also having like a fling, quote unquote, flingishy type of deal with someone at work. And that could also not like, it could be something that's, like not sexual, but like sometimes they use it as a term where like this coworker and I get along so well that like he knows me, I know them, and so it's kind of like, we hang out a lot at workplace, so we're kind of like a thing. And so then you would normally joke around saying, oh, that's your like company husband, and da 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 da. So yeah, that's maybe the safer version. And I mean, if you say that, I had like a nice guy friend at my work during my co-op / internship who I would always like consult with. But I don't think we were ever like, we didn't really have lunch together. I actually used him. But yeah, there's actually this type of term. So for those who are still not understanding what's going on, it's like, I'm already dating someone, right, as you guys know, but it's like me saying, oh, I'm having my company husband is maybe Charming Joe because I don't know, people think that we're getting married. That's like the thing. And then if we do anything like, oh darling, oh sweetie, and like just call each other that, and we'll be like, yeah, we're just business guys. But the bad thing about this is that they can start off like this, but maybe like transition into actual cheating of like 19 plus stuff, etc. So personally, I don't think this should be ever a term. Yeah, maybe you just get along with this person well, but like having lunch with this person every time, or like flirting, because okay, how many of you guys know when someone is flirting with someone else? You can kind of tell that's happening, and if that's going on, that's basically saying you're cheating. So I had a person like that in the army. We did everything together just because we didn't like anyone else. Oh, muchacha. But like, were you dating someone outside separately? Because yeah. So personally, I really don't like this. I don't approve of this. I don't think this should be like legitimate, because okay, like no. So hopefully this will never happen to you guys, or does have. Few times I saw work husband and wife, they were already married. So they were already married to someone else, but did work husband and work wife with someone else? Wow. Yeah, they do that often. Yeah. You know why they do that? It's because they are lonely. They don't do any lovey-dovey stuff with each other. So they are seeking to find someone else, and they realize that the person at the company, because they already spend like 9 hours to with the person, right? So yeah, then that's what they'll do. And you know what they'll say to their wife when they maybe have to go out for dinner together? They'll be like, oh, I have some company dinner plans. Which, like, what the f you mean? Like, so yeah, and then that ends up being like, that's cheating. And even if they don't have dinner, if you're having lunch with this person every day, like, ha ha, and no, work is just for work. And I bet that person is doing very bad at workplace. But I hope this doesn't really happen to any of you guys. Like, even if you think that person is amazing, I hope you just see it as like a human being, and this person period is nice, and that they're really diligent or hardworking, but don't extend the line of adding in the phrase, I like this person, or I love this person. You don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know. I feel like people, well, that's another different story we'll talk about, and that becomes a whole relationship story, because yeah, I've had like my friends who talked about like marriage and having kids, and it was kind of crazy. So that's that. Now, in terms of dating someone at with a coworker, I've actually never seen this, shockingly. I've never seen someone dating someone at working place. So maybe they were very smart about it, or maybe they did start dating without telling me. But before we go on to is this good or bad, we can kind of talk about where and how do they date. Probably the most important thing is if they're both single and they work together, right? If you're like buddies working together. Another way you could probably date each other, or if you guys are interns, you guys are kind of like co-workers, colleagues. And so you guys get to know each other a lot, or you guys have a lot of programs and you guys have to attend together. That would be another way. Another possibility would be if you have maybe like your customer. You met up with your customer, your client, etc., and they were just gorgeous, stunning, amazing, attractive, blah, blah, blah. Then maybe not only you would give them your business card, but at the same time, you're like, would you want to have dinner with me? And like get all like yucky and disgusting. So, that's probably where you could meet someone through dating. Now, what are some of the pros about dating? At coworker is you get to see this person a lot. Like, you always, since when you're dating someone outside of work, you can maybe see them once every week or twice every week. And, like, sometimes that's a little sad, especially like at nighttime. You really want to see your girlfriend, and maybe your girlfriend lives like 20-30 minutes away, and you just got out of work and you're really tired. You don't want that happening. So you get to see that person a lot. See a lot. See. You getting see? What is this? Another thing I think is that, you have something in common to talk about. And I really found this very important because, like, when I was at work and I had lots of issues, it was really hard for me to, first of all, like, explain that there's this human being. Let's say I'm having trouble with this intern named Mark. Now, if I were to explain to my significant other, then I would have to be like, okay, well, there's this human being named Mark, and this person Mark who maybe is working blah blah blah. Like, I have to describe all the background story about Mark, being like, he is wanting to have a girlfriend, but he can't date someone, and you'll kind of say why, and then you have to go on with the story. So the other person also cannot relate as much, because the other person could also be like, I mean, maybe that person has lots of things to talk about, but you know what? If you date someone at coworker and you know that person's personality, like everyone knows that person's personality, then if I'm like, yeah, Mark at like the IT department, then your significant other will be like, oh yeah. I'd be like, yeah. Like, yeah, we'll talk about it more after work, honey. Like, that'd be so nice to talk about. So there's always a common ground of something we can relate to and everything. So that's always a good thing. I think another good thing about dating someone at your workplace is... What's another good thing? Honestly, it kind of relates to seeing a lot, but it's the fact that, like, you save a lot of time. I think, because you already saw that person at work and be like... Or maybe because you guys work at like the same location, it's much faster to go on a date together too. Oh, like, yeah, what you guys saw. I can't even speak English. Date after work. Because you guys can go together, right? And then be like, okay, instead of saying, hey, let's meet at this person, blah, blah, blah. So, and like what Joe said, another positive thing probably would have been less chance of them cheating. And that's actually very important. And similar interest. I mean, that's kind of... Yeah, I think that really depends on job field. Because what if you're both IT related, but you just work at a different place? So maybe that one I'll be kind of... It's kind of about it. So I guess that's the pros about it. The bad thing about dating someone at your workplace is after breakup. Oh my god. Like, let me tell you a funny story, guys. One of my guy friend who is working at a company right now, we kind of joke around saying he is the 신입 killer. 신입 means entry level killer. It's a joke. He's actually not a killer. As in, like, he's not that attractive. But he dated this entry level girl. Yeah, no, it's just one time. But he dated this girl, right? And the funniest story that he told me was that, it wasn't going well together. They were in the same, like, department too. And the shocking thing was, so they broke up, right? They were like, I don't think this is going anywhere. We're not doing a very good job of this, blah, blah, blah. So then they broke up, and he went to work the next day, and he realized that the girl ended up, like, asking the manager to sit far away from as far away as she can from my friend, because she just didn't want to see him. So what also ended up happening was that my friend just ended up moving to a different department as well. But it's like, okay, well, like, why are they making drama at workplace, right? So after breakup, it sucks. Another thing that really sucks about dating someone at your coworker kind of relates to the one above, is that if they get into like a fight, then it sucks. That, I guess it doesn't suck maybe for them, but people around them would be like, OMG. oh my god. They'll just be like, okay, well, like, can you guys be more professional about it? Because someone's gonna put in feelings. There's no way you can have a nice, nice fight with your significant others without, not having any feelings involved. And for a fact when the guy maybe has to ask your girl to do some work for you, then the girls be like, yeah, well, okay. And like roll your eyes, and everyone knows that we fought, and it's just gonna be like, oh my god, can you like stop? So that's another big issue going on with that. Another thing is kind of like the opposite, where if you're a person who really needs a lot of time by yourself, this would suck because you'd be seeing this person 24/7. I guess more like 5 days. Wait, no, it's what, like 8 hours a week, 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. And it can be plus alpha if you're maybe consultant, right? And this could suck because you'd be like, okay, well, like, can I like not see? You can't really say, can I not see you today? Because like we've already spent almost like 8 hours at work. I kind of want to do some like Lost Ark with my friends, guy friends. Or vice versa, the girl could be like, kind of want to like go shopping like by myself, or like watch Netflix about like these hot guys. On one side could, and then like if you guys, usually you date opposite personalities, then the other person could be like, does this person not want to hang out with me? So it could kind of lead to the drama part, and then it could go to like a breakup. So everything's all related. So I think that's what I figured out that's really bad, because I realized there's a lot of people who love spending time by yourself, especially after work. They need like 3 hours by themselves without anyone talking to them, like just watching something, or like on the computer playing games, or maybe reading a book, but they just don't want to like have any like interaction with other human being. And in that like MBTI term, we call that introvert, because technically after work you want to just spend it by yourself. So that's kind of what I realized. Do you guys have anything about what you don't like about your workplace? Feel free to write it on the chat. But if I were to compare these two personally, it's hard. If I were to decide between if I would be finding someone to date at work versus just dating someone outside, then yeah. They have such a strong pro and con that it's, I think, always really hard. But there are definitely some personality type that really shouldn't be dating someone they work with every day. Yeah. So I think if I were to date Mia, was my as you guys know, and I would be in the same workplace with him, then he would be so stressed out. He'd be, I don't want to talk to you. Like even now after work, we spend like 2 hours separately where I usually like edit my videos, and he just plays like, he just watches YouTube, and we just don't talk to each other because he's just like, I don't want to talk to anyone after work. So it kind of sucks, but normally it did get better. But yeah, you gotta de-stress, and usually his de-stressing involves no one around him. So but yeah, if I had to pick, if I had the possibility, if I'm single and if I could date someone at my workplace, Would I? I don't think I would. I don't think I would want to date someone at my workplace because, first of all, I really don't want someone to know exactly what I do more in depth, because I think another thing that could happen, maybe this could be another con, is that they could also backseat about my work, even if like they don't think that they're doing it. The person could be like, maybe you could also like, you could have done this, you could have taken care of this maybe a better way, and blah blah blah. So dating can also lead to firing if the breakup ends badly. Oh yeah, that's true. Would you want to risk your job? Like, I also heard there are places where they don't even allow you to date at companies. For that instant, I think that's kind of like too much. I think companies shouldn't be involved in terms of when their coworkers want to date, because I just feel like if you're having a man and a female, or even just maybe if you're into another gender, then that's fine. But if we're just kind of generalizing right now, if you have a group of guys and girls in the same room and they're always working together, they're always seeing each other 24/7, you're more than likely going to somehow involve certain type of feelings at one point. And if that feelings somehow ends up working out with each other, you're going to end up like being like, hey, like flirting and like da 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 da. And for the company to just step in and say you guys cannot date is kind of like, well, like you're gonna have to stop human nature to do that, right? So I heard of a story of someone who just hid the fact that they were dating until they were about to get married. Oh, really? I've heard not to date at work since I was born. Oh, really? Yeah, so usually they do hide it, but I just feel like companies shouldn't even be involved, and maybe their working process gets better. But I mean, like, you don't have to be too open about it, like go around and be like, we're dating each other, but just quietly. But nothing's ever quiet, right? Everyone loves gossip at work. Everyone loves all the stories that's happening at work. So yeah, so just overall kind of sum it all up in terms of dating at work, and then should you date? That's really up to you guys. Personally, I wouldn't recommend you to date someone at work, because it could, like what Secretary said, lead you guys to getting fired if you're being very extreme about it. But just in the end, there's just so many feelings that's being involved, and work is one of the places that you should not have any feelings involved. So highly likely that you should not probably date someone, but you end up, you can't really have like you can't really stop feelings. So if you have the chance, you should try. But I feel like most of my peers end up saying they regret it after they dated someone at work time. So if you do have the chance, why not go for it? But yeah, you'll end up realizing that was a huge mistake. I mean, if you get along well, that's fine, but most of the time they usually say it was not a good idea. So significant other, not just at workplace. So try to keep work just work. Work is pretty serious, so because you're getting paid to do something, right? So you have to work up to the payment. Oops, why did I open this? So that's all of what I have to say in terms of this. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to leave a comment below. But other than that, that was my whole 30-minute quick podcast about dating and how you guys should just not date someone. That is a very, very bad idea. And I will not even give you guys tips on how to date someone. Just don't even try. Just keep it at work and go outside and enjoy the sunlight, and maybe a girl's gonna come up to you. Yeah. So that's all for my amazing short podcast.